Hey everyone, this is Libby Peterson, Senior Editor of Rangefinder. I am here with the award-winning wedding photographer, Ruben Gorjian. How's it going, Ruben?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. So Ruben has been speaking at WPPI for us. This past year, he spoke about creating your own light. He is a MagMod ambassador. He contributes to FLR Lounge. He's a speaker at Adorama, so he is definitely in the industry. So Ruben, you and I actually spoke a few weeks ago now for an article that I did on how the coronavirus, COVID-19, has basically affected the whole wedding industry, but more specifically, wedding photographers. So you kind of told me about this a little bit already, but just to give a little background here, tell me about how your last month has been, basically.
Symptoms and fever right after Vegas. That was end of February. Then I went to the doctor. They didn't have any tests at the time. So he gave me, how you call it, the flu pack of five, those 5 pills, flu something, I don't remember the name. And it went away, I was fine. Then around mid-March, on a Friday night, I got fever again, 101, 102. And that sounds strange because, knocking on wood, I never get fever. Everybody gets a cold, but I don't get fever so often.
Yeah.
And none of my kids had fever, so none of them passed it to me. So that was strange to me because I don't get fever very often. So Saturday afternoon, I said, you know what, let me go to urgent care and take a test. So I drove to the closest urgent care, they test me, and after maybe 5-6 days, they called me back that I was positive.
For coronavirus?
Yeah, so that was on March, I tested March 14, so March 19, they called me. But that's it, yeah. So I was quarantining myself since the day I got tested.
Right.
That was the guidelines, what they told me, suggested me to do.
Yeah.
And my wife as well, that she works. She quarantined for 2 weeks with me and my kids at home.
Right. And she works in real estate, right?
Yes, she's a property manager.
Okay. Did your kids or your wife get sick as well, or?
My wife did not get sick. My kids got fever, each of them.
Yeah.
They never got tested. I mean, we went to the doctor, but they never tested them.
Okay.
They got fever for a day and then it was gone. But I got them worse because I had coughing, I had huge migraines, and fever. So they only got fever. So I got coughing and migraines.
And so how long were you sick for?
Well, counting from WPPI, it was about maybe 3-4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's from end of February to end of March, in other words.
Right. And how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling much better. The hardest part was that when I was during those 2-3 weeks, all of a sudden I felt like that feeling when your blood pressure dumps you and goes down, that you're very weak all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hardest part, that all of a sudden you feel without energy in your body.
Right.
But that lasts maybe an hour, then goes back up.
Okay.
And you're okay, but yeah.
And are you still pretty much in quarantine now, or how have things changed?
Well, I work from home. My studio is my basement, and so I don't have the office space outside my house. So I wake up, I have breakfast, shower, then I go downstairs, and I keep doing what I'm doing. The only difference is that all the weddings, all the sessions, all the commercial photography that I'm doing has been all either canceled or pushed to fall at this time.
Right.
That's summer to fall.
For pretty much everybody. It's so crazy.
Yeah. I had a couple of March weddings that they got pushed to September.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it like being in quarantine?
Boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. But like I was saying on Monday, I have a Facebook group, so I was doing a live video. I was telling everybody not just to relax, watch Netflix, and spend your day doing nothing. Just let's try to be proactive. And what I've been doing, for example, I clean up all my computers hard, clean up all the old files,
Yeah.
empty everything, or update your website that I haven't done it for quite a while. Schedule your social media posts. There are a few different apps that you can do that. So I did all my posts for the month of March, March, April, and now May.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of things that we usually don't do.
Right.
That is boring. It doesn't bring you money, but that's the perfect time that we should take care of.
Right. You just catch up on all that admin type stuff. It's not that exciting, but needs.
And also, if I had signed up for a lot of workshops online or tutorial for editing that I forgot to, or I never had the time to really watch fully. So that's a perfect time for everybody to catch up on these things, to improve your skills, to improve your everything that you do, if you're a photographer full time or not, whatever you do. Just take this time and be proactive, because sooner or later this crisis will end.
Right.
It will end, of course. Either they find a vaccine or they find a cure or something. So at that time, slowly everything's gonna go back in track. And us as a wedding photographer will be all of a sudden super busy, because all those weddings will be condensed in 6-8 months period. So that's the perfect time now to improve our skill, our knowledge. So when everything goes back to square one, that we are ready to go.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you were able to seize on that opportunity to catch up on all the things. So you tested positive for coronavirus.
Yeah.
Before you actually went into quarantine, how did you sort of inform the community, tell your clients?
Well, my clients and my community are the same thing, because I feed off my community as a wedding photographer. So the first thing I did is to create a post on Facebook, notifying everybody, of course, that I was tested positive. And then I specifically text and call those people that in the past 4 or 5 days I got in touch with about it, because I want to be sure that they're aware of it. And that's it.
Okay. And how did the community react? What kind of response did you get from people?
They react very well, of course. They were genuinely worried about me,
right?
Family and kids, but also they were asking me a lot of questions about my symptoms. How did I get it? Which I still don't know how I got it. And what did I do? I went to the doctor, went to ER or urgent care. So there were, because I was one of the first ones to test positive, and there were everybody concerned and curious to know what the steps are and what the symptoms were to when you don't feel well or when you think you might have it.
Right. Has this experience given you sort of a new perspective on in-person events like WPPI? I mean, when you're forced to sort of not interact with people and sort of isolate yourself, this profession can already be such an isolating one. Has this given you sort of a different way of looking at events like that?
I think that these events, trade shows, must continue. We cannot change the way of living 360 degrees so drastically. Okay. our industry is a visual industry and is a networking industry. So we have to attend these events. We have to teach classes, speak at events, and find new product, touch it, feel it. So I think that any trade show, specifically WPPI, Photo Plus, all these trade show must continue. Of course, we have to be more aware of the situation, more worried about shaking a hand,
Right.
or hug somebody. But I think we're gonna get used to it. Right, I rather get used to that rather than not attend a trade show.
Right. Yeah. No, I think our new reality, it's going to change a little bit. I think people will be aware about interaction, but also maybe a new appreciation for being able to be in person and interact
100%.
face to face.
I'm sure there is more appreciation of interacting of one another, or seeing your kid or your wife or your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend, or your family member. I haven't seen my mom for maybe a month and a half now, rather than WhatsApp video. So I'm sure that this will help the unity of your family and friends.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's so much online education happening right now, which is great because what else are people supposed to do at a time like this? But I think it will also prove to be that in-person education is there's just nothing like it. There's no substitute, really. I mean, you can actually learn from somebody who can really show you how to do something.
Right. It's something is watching a YouTube video about me taking a picture of someone, and it's totally different when you are next to me and you try to take that picture and I tell you what you did wrong or what you did right, how you improve it. So like it's that aha moment that you realize when you're next to your instructor, that really lights up that bulb in your head.
Yeah. And so right now, have you found yourself sort of pivoting at all, just in terms of sustaining business in the interim?
Well, of course, weddings we cannot control of. I have few weddings pending that my clients cannot make a decision yet because they don't know if the date is still available, because all those dates from spring, summer of 2020 will replace those that they thought they're gonna get married on. So everything's getting pushed towards new dates. I have few workshops in mind for this year. I have one already scheduled in July in New York, which I'm still holding on because it's mid-July. So I think we should be able to pull it off. Otherwise, I have to postpone it. But there is nothing we can do about it, honestly. It's because we don't know.
Right.
One day they tell you we're gonna open business in end of the month. 4 days later they're gonna tell you end of May. So any pivoting that you try to do becomes useless, and as soon as they come up with a new guideline, with a new the new guidelines.
So what's next for you? Maybe in the more immediate future?
About what? About
just business or life in general?
I was thinking actually this morning, not because I was with you, but it's really hard because, for example, I applied for the PPP loan, and then you read articles that the funds run out already. So that puts you in different position than I was yesterday.
Right.
So like me, I'm sure 99% of small business are in the same situation. So without cash flow running, you limit yourself of what you can do, and honestly say, you know what, maybe I don't need this thing. I'd rather invest on my education and spend $200 or on that online education video that might help me out in the long run. So it's really hard. It's really hard because we don't know what's going on. We don't know what the future holds, the immediate future. So, of course, I want to think about other venues, possibilities to bring income. Maybe for the short run, maybe on myself, or if I give ideas for somebody else to work as a part-time somewhere else. So I can have, or we can have more income, at least minimum. And then when you get a couple of more weddings, everything start going back in track, then you can leave your part-time job and go back on your old business.
Right. Yeah, I've heard a lot of photographers have started doing that.
Yeah.
Probably smart, just in the interim. Yeah.
And then I think we should think outside the box. For example, I'm sure everybody has a list of clients, and you should, and we should email those clients and their relatives, letting them know that you can photograph their products and maybe getting paid later on. Okay, so try to brainstorm with your friends, with your old customers. It doesn't have to be just portrait, because we cannot do portrait right now. So we cannot do weddings right now. So what else we can do is product photography. I just shot for a friend of mine that sells cosmetics. He just sent me, it is next to me, but he just gave me a bunch of cosmetics of new product that is launching for the third quarter of 2020. So I did all those photo shooting.
Nice.
So there are some, you're not gonna make millions, but you know, $400 here, $500 there, $1,000 here at the end of the month, of the week.
Right.
It might help you for the groceries, might help you for something that you need to pay for.
Right. Yeah, that definitely adds up, and it's nice that you can. It's not wedding or portraits, but you can still get creative with your camera. That's great.
Or practice, just practice. And actually, this morning I was thinking, well, you know what? Let me do a food photography. I don't know. My wife cooked something. I bring it downstairs. I photograph. Maybe that's a new venue for me for 2021. Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
You never know what can spark.
Whatever you have in your house, just take a picture. Let's see what new ideas you can bring to your arsenal.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously this is, an uncertain time. I'm wondering what have been sort of the moments of happiness for you, or positive inspiration.
In the last month, not so many. Actually,
it doesn't have to be photography or business related. It can just be anything.
But business related, that my weddings has not been canceled yet, but postponed. So I take postponement every day of the week, because that means, yes, I don't get the cash flow now, but I'm gonna get it in the June, July, or August, whatever, September, October, November. So I rather take it in October than don't get it at all.
Right.
So I was really happy. Beside that, well, my daughter came back from Israel. She was studying abroad, and we were able to take her back maybe a couple of days before the shutdown of their flights into US. So we were very happy about that.
Yeah, that was a huge relief to get her back.
Yeah, she wasn't very happy, but that's a different story. No, she's happy.
Oh, that's good.
And then that we are alive, so we should be always thankful that we're breathing. We wake up in the morning. I'm sure everybody knows of someone that passed away in the past month. I mean, it's been horrible for us. Every week, 1-2 people that either you know personally or a relative of somebody that you know passed away. So it's you know, it takes a toll at the end. Every day well, not every day, but every week, 1, 2, 3 people. It's hard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing about a global pandemic is that it affects everybody. So you're bound to know somebody who's been seriously affected by this. Well, we just appreciate so much that you were able to give a little time to chat.
Yeah.
Again, it's been great catching up with you. I think last time you and I hung out in person was maybe the fall, or was it last spring?
I don't remember.
I think it was sometime last year we got coffee.
We got a coffee, I think it was in the fall, because we were talking about WPPI.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, next time social distancing norms ease up a little bit, I'd love to get the coffee.
Yeah. Yes, I want to get the coffee again.
All right, awesome. All right, thank you so much, Ruben. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.